Chapter 149, Demon Transformation Art. Dharma treasures were usually only available to Golden Core and nascent soul cultivators. Because only those at this level could refine Dharma treasures, there were very few foundation establishment cultivators who had Dharma treasures after all. Their value was usually more than 10,000 spirit stones. Such high-grade Dharma treasures could not be bought without at least 50,000 to 60,000 spirit stones. In order to buy the demonic seed, this person actually took out a high-grade Dharma treasure of good quality. Even a Golden Core King might not have been so generous. You want to use your Dharma treasure in exchange. Second Master Lu licked his lips and greed appeared in his eyes. He also had Dharma treasures, but they were only low-grade Dharma treasures. They could not compare to this thing at all. If he could get this, it would be good, as he could either resell it for a higher price or use it himself. It depends on whether you have enough demonic seeds to exchange for it. Sanchi crossed his arms. How many do you have? Second brother Lu frowned and took out 3 more. Only 4. Not enough. Sanchi shook his head, for demon seeds were worth at most only 20,000 spirit stones. It was not enough to buy high-grade Dharma treasures at all. He threw out 2 storage bags. Here are 20,000 spirit stones. Give me the demon seeds. Fellow Daos Chen, you really can't judge a book by its cover. Not only did you take out such high-grade Dharma treasures, but you also have so many spirit stones on you. Zhuan Kai exclaimed. Even if the cultivators he met had Dharma treasures and spiritual herbs on them, they often did not have that many spirit stones and had to come to them to exchange for spirit stones with other things. Second Masterless gaze did not move away from the green scissors Dharma treasure. He said, I have some things here, such as pills and low-grade Dharma treasures. I'm not interested, I only want the devil's seed. 20,000 spirit stones. Are you selling them or not? Sanchi did not think that ordinary pills could compare to the demon pill, nor did he lack Dharma treasures. The blood-robed old ghost's Blood River Dharma treasure was enough for him. Second brother Lu raised his head and looked deeply at Sanchi. I will take the spirit stones. With this money and some of my own, I can still buy other high-grade Dharma treasures. Sanchi unceremoniously snatched the 4 demonic seeds into his hand and checked them. After confirming that there were no problems, he threw a small bag of spirit stones to Zhuan Kai. This is my token of gratitude to you. Zhuan Kai glanced at it and found that it contained 1,000 spirit stones. He smiled and said, Fellow Daos Chen, you're so generous. Sanchi took the demonic seeds and turned to leave. He walked around the mountain and finally came to a stall that traded poison. I want to sell something. He walked to a small stall and sold everything from high doozy other than the 7-colored centipede and the alms bowl Dharma artifacts. Previously, he had also dealt with the random items he had obtained from looting the corpses and killing a few cultivators, and there were also some miscellaneous items. In the end, after selling everything, the profit he made was equivalent to the payment of the demon seeds. After dealing with the miscellaneous items, he felt much more relaxed. It felt a little like taking out the trash. My storage ring and storage bag can hold a lot of things again. Sanchi left in satisfaction. Not long after he left, a few people secretly followed him down the mountain. There was no moon tonight, and the mountain was filled with miasma. Although he had not stayed in the Black Mountain for long, the night that had arrived was still dark, especially when he entered the primitive forest where mortals would not be able to even see their fingers. It was even darker there. Sanchi did not fly on his sword. On one hand, he wanted to jeep the breeze sword control technique as his trump card. On the other hand, it was not bad to travel. I felt like a martial arts expert, with a poison avoidance pearl on him. The densely packed poisonous insects in the night were far away. Only some foolish poisonous creatures would occasionally come to seek death. As he moved forward, a gust of hot wind blew past, startling many insects and snakes. After dozens of kilometers, Sanchi suddenly muttered to himself, the moon is dark and the wind is strong. It's the perfect time to kill. He leaped onto the leaves of a huge tree and turned round. Don't you think so? Coo! Coo! An owl flew past, seemingly frightened by him. Sanchi flicked his finger and a beam of fire shot out. With a poof, it pierced through the owl. The owl turned into a fireball and fell with a miserable cry. On the way, I encountered some birds that fed on poison. Unfortunately, There were no owls within them. Did you think you could fool me? Fireballs ignited on Sanchi's fingers and danced nimbly on his fingertips. They rapidly expanded in the night wind, illuminating the surroundings. He lowered his head and muttered, "If you don't come out, I'll make you." A fireball tore through the air from his finger and blasted 1,000 feet away. "We've been discovered. Kill him immediately." The three figures were forced out. While dodging the fireball, they attacked Sanchi from 3 different directions. More than 10 beams of cold light shot at Sanchi, sealing his entire body. Ordinary cultivators basically would not be able to dodge this attack. But Sanchi's figure flashed, leaving behind an afterimage that was pierced by the cold light. He landed nimbly at the tip of another tree. The cold light hit the tree trunk and sank into it. Wisps of black gas emerged and then the tree trunk broke and fell to the ground. Sanchi took a glance and suddenly struck out with his palm. A fire dragon was released, illuminating the darkness. Amidst the dragon's roar, the fire dragon quickly landed on the ground. Before it touched the grass, someone appeared from inside the grass and dodged in a panic. Boom! A huge pit was blasted open in the ground by his palm. The scorching power ignited the nearby plants and turned them into ashes. A portion of the soil in the center was even melted. Waves of heat spread out, and the figure that fell to the side in a sorry state took a deep breath. Cold sweat clearly appeared on his forehead, and he was terrified to the extreme. "You actually discovered me." Amidst the sharp voice, the person raised his head. Under the light of the fire, an ugly face without eyebrows was revealed. The strange thing was that this person's lower body had turned into the body of a snake. His entire body was covered in white scales. If one did not look at his head, he would look like a white snake. "Do you think you can sneak up on me by having 3 people draw my attention from another direction?" Sanchi stared at the second young master of the Lu family with a teasing look in his eyes. "I believe you've killed many people with this method. HMPH. So what if you sense me?" The second son of the Lu family decided to reveal his true intentions after he was discovered. He licked his lips and circled around the grass like a snake. In the blink of an eye, he wrapped himself around the tree trunk and climbed up the huge tree opposite Sanchi. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The other 3 cultivators also surrounded him, sealing off for directions. Sanchi remained calm. He stared at the human-snake hybrid and asked curiously, "Are you a human or a demon?" Compared to killing the other party or being killed by the other party, he was more interested in knowing how this phenomenon came about. When the second young master of the Lu family heard this, his snake eyes, which had already turned into blue vertical pupils, sneered. "Before every idiot dies, everyone who sees me use the demon transformation art will ask me this. Demon transformation art. I didn't expect that such an evil technique could be cultivated to this extent." Sanchi narrowed his eyes. From the memories of the blood-robed old ghost, he had some understanding of this demonic technique, but he had only heard of its name. This was because this cultivation technique required the assistance of demon blood. That thing and human bloodline were different species to begin with, so it was definitely difficult to fuse. Therefore, the risk was so high that if 100 people cultivated it, 99 people would die from it. Even if one was lucky enough to successfully cultivate it, they would basically become a monster that was neither human nor demon in the end. Therefore, under normal circumstances, even people from the demonic path rarely cultivated it. Ignorant, when I plant a demon seed in you after capturing you, I'll show you how powerful I am to cultivate the demon transformation art. The second young master of the Lu family did not give Sanchi any time to reply. His eyes were filled with coldness as he shouted ferociously, "Form a battle formation and capture him alive."